Hi guys. So we're going to do another Valentine's Day DIY, and in this one I'm going to show you not only one necklace but two. So I'm wearing one of them. It's this lovely Perler pink ginormous heart, which isn't really 8-bit, but you do have to buy a special pegboard for it. Also, I'm going to show you how to make a 8-bit heart necklace. So I hope you guys enjoy and keep watching. So we're going to go ahead and go straight to the DIY. For this DIY, you're going to need some perler beads, 2 needle nose pliers, a round nose plier, a square pegboard and a heart pegboard, some silver chain, some necklace fasteners, and round large fasteners, and tweezers, which are optional. You're also going to need parchment paper, and last but not least, an iron. Now make sure to plug your iron in ahead of time so that it is nice and warm. We're just going to clear off our space here for a minute. I plugged my iron in right before I did the heart-shaped perler, only because I like mine extra warm. So for the 8-bit one, we're going to do that one first, and we're going to do the outline in black, and we're going to do the inside in red. So we're going to go ahead and start with the black, and we're going to start making the outline of this particular 8-bit heart. Now I did make my 8-bit heart a little on the small side because I'm not a real big pendant kind of person. If I want a pendant that's big, I'm very picky about it. But if you do want your 8-bit heart to be a little bit bigger, all you have to do is make 4 rows on the top and 4 rows on the sides instead of the 3 that I did. So we're going to go ahead and take the red and we're going to fill this in here. Now I've sped this up for you because it does take a minute to make it. It's not going to be an all-night project, obviously, but it is going to take you a couple of minutes to do it. So now that I've got my little 8-bit heart all ready, I'm going to show you a close-up of it. And here's a good look at it up close, and I'll turn it around so that it shows your way. And there you go. There's your little 8-bit heart. Now we're going to go ahead and zoom back out and do our other heart. And I'm going to do this one in 2 shades of pink. I'm going to use a lighter pink on the outside and a kind of translucent pink for the inside. It did take me a little bit longer to make this particular heart necklace pendant only because I buy the big totes of perlers, which you do have to sit down and separate, and it is very time consuming to separate them. So how I separated them was I took all the shades of pink and all the shades of blue and so on and so forth and separated them into the bags. So because I didn't separate each individual shade of pink, it takes me a minute to kind of go through, pick the shades that I want, and I have to make sure that I'm picking all of the same shades when doing it so that it doesn't look weird. So you can see where I'm like flipping the bag around and I'm shaking it just to kind of make sure that I'm not grabbing the same handfuls every time to fill it up. Now in this case, you don't have to do shades that I did. I've done necklaces where the 8-bit heart is pink on the inside and the heart-shaped pegboard is like in rainbow colors, and I put a resin flower on the corner. It's all about customization. And the great thing about the customization part is the fact that you can do whatever you want with it. You don't have to make it the same as anybody else, and it might not end up the same as anybody else, but that is what makes it unique. And it's really kind of cool when you tell people who ask you about it, hey, I made this myself, and they get really interested. So, like I said, this particular project did take longer than the previous one because it was a little bit more in depth and I had to go searching for the specific colors that I wanted to do it. So you can see me kind of picking through the different shades in my hands, and I'm just picking up big handfuls to try to finish it. If you want to do specific colors like I did, unless you buy the colors where it's all the same color in the bag, it is going to be a little bit more time consuming. It might take where it took me 3 minutes to do the one for the 8-bit heart because I already had the colors separated. It might take me 20 minutes to do the one where I have to go through and separate all the colors myself. You can buy the colors individually, depending on where you go to get it and depending what colors you specifically want for your hearts. So I'm pulling out the last color now, and there's your up close picture. And you can see where I use the lighter color on the outside and the more translucent, darker color on the inside. So I've already ironed down my 8-bit heart, so it's melted on both sides and ready. So I'm just going to show you how to do the bigger heart. So we're going to take our parchment paper, we're going to line it on top, and then we're going to take our iron, which has been preheated, and I'm just going to iron that down. I am using a sweeping and a shifting motion, and I rotate it as I do it to kind of help save on time. So while that is cooling down, we're going to take our chain and we're going to go ahead and get our chain ready for the necklace part. I did not pre-measure these. You can take a ruler and measure them if you want to. The great part is that you can always go back and fix it. So I'm going to take my 2 needle nose pliers and I'm going to separate my length of chain from the rest of the chain on the spool so that I've got that separated and the length that I want. Now while that end is open, I'm going to take the clasp of my necklace closer and I'm going to go ahead and attach that inside that chain link. Now you don't necessarily have to use a fastener to attach them depending on how thick your chain link is. Mine's pretty thin, so for me it's not going to need that extra fastener. And then we're just going to flip it over and do the same thing to the other side. And you want to make sure when you do these that you do close those up securely at the end because you don't want those to fall apart while you're wearing them. Now if you pay attention, you can see where the parchment paper is starting to lift from the heart pendant. That's how you know that it is starting to cool down enough for you to handle to do the other side. So now that my chain is ready, we're going to go ahead and take the heart off of the pegboard because it's all cooled down. We're going to flip it over and we're going to go ahead and iron down that other side. And just as before, we're going to lay the parchment paper on top and we're going to do the same motions we did last time with the iron where you're doing the sweeping and circling, and I rotate it as I do it to give it more of an even melted look to it. So while that one's cooling off, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing with our chain that we did before so that you have 2 chains for both of your necklaces. So now the chain's ready and they're all melted. We're going to take our needle nose and puncture a hole into the top. I already did my 8-bit pendant, so I'm going to show you how I do the heart one. Just put it right there in that middle and push your way through so that the hole's big enough for the fasteners. Just like that. And I've already finished with my 8-bit heart, so I'm just going to show you how to do it with the normal heart pendant. We're going to open up our big fasteners and we're going to start threading them through those holes. Now if you use the big pendant like I did, you are going to need about 2 or 3 large fasteners, only because you're going to have to make sure that that chain is going to be movable. You don't want it to be stuck and then it gets stuck on your charm or your pendant, whichever one you want to use it for. So I've already gotten the first one attached and closed properly and made sure that it's nice and overlapped. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the next 2. So I'm going to open that one up and I'm going to go ahead and put the other fastener in it. And we're just going to attach it to the fastener that I've attached to the pendant. And we're going to go ahead and close those up and get them nice and secure. Now when I do my fasteners, I overlap them a little bit just to make sure that they're a little bit more secure so they're not going to fall apart on me while I'm wearing it, which is very important. So you can see where I'm starting to get that all rounded off and securely closed. And then once that's securely closed and ready, we're going to open up the top one and we're going to stick our other chain necklace inside, which should already be done because we did all that while we were waiting for it to cool. So we're going to close that up as well, make that nice and secure, and we're going to round that off. And there you go. It's all ready to be worn. So I'm going to go ahead and clear this off so you can get a good up-close picture of the pendants. And there you go. They're all ready for you. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed that DIY. Don't forget to make your own and post pictures. And here's another look at the 8-bit heart one. And of course the one that I'm wearing. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Make your own. Send me pictures. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more DIYs, and also to keep an eye on all of my awesome eye socket makeup videos. Also make sure to like me on Facebook and to check out my Etsy shop. Links are in the drop down box below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.